If you are also of the view that money cannot buy happiness, then you should stick right to this video, as your perception about money will be fully changed after watching this video. We often think of money as essential for only providing basic requirements, such as purchasing food and shelter and paying for healthcare. Meeting these demands is critical, and if we don't have enough money to do so, our personal well-being and the community's overall well-being suffer considerably. But apart from that, what if I told you that money is not a commodity as per general perception, but rather money can be used as a tool for wealth development? Yes, you heard right. In fact, the only difference between the poor and the rich is the management of money. And according to Robert Kiyosaki, money without financial intelligence is no money. It can't help you develop wealth. In today's video, we are going to talk about all the money-related stuff in the light of Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We will see how the general perception of money has been challenged by Robert Kiyosaki in this book. Also, before going forward, if you are new to the channel, remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, so you won't miss any future videos we upload. Getting back to the video, Rich Dad, Poor Dad dismisses the myth that having a large income is a prerequisite for financial success. The book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki was released for the first time in 1997. Still, it is recommended by many financial experts as a must-read for anybody interested in finance, money, or the economy in general. The book is now the best-selling personal finance book of all time, and it has been translated into dozens of different languages. Moreover, it has been distributed all over the world. The basic theme of the book is how to use money as a tool for wealth growth. In fact, it debunks the idea that wealthy people are born wealthy, explains why your personal property might not truly be an asset, defines the real distinction between an asset and a liability, and does a great deal more besides. Let's talk about the book chapter wise. The first chapter is about why the rich don't work for money. People frequently misinterpret the title of this chapter, believing it to suggest that the wealthy do not labor. In reality, the inverse is true. Rather than viewing the chapter title as The Rich Don't Work for Money, Kiyosaki meant the rich don't work for money. This part takes on a whole new meaning when the focus is placed on the word money. The majority of wealthy people work very hard, but they do so in a different way than most people. Wealthy people and those who want to be wealthy work and study every day to figure out how to make money work for them. The poor and middle class work for money, Rich Dad argues. The wealthy have money working for them. Kiyosaki further points out that working a regular job is only a temporary answer to the long-term issue or struggle of earning wealth and financial freedom. According to him, most people work because they are afraid of not being able to pay their expenses, of getting fired, of not having enough money, and of having to start over. That is the cost of learning to learn a skill or profession and then working for a living. Most people become slaves to money and then become enraged at their boss. However, it is they who have to be blamed for not taking the risk and overcoming their fear to start learning a new skill or profession. The second chapter of Rich Dad, Poor Dad defines the terms asset and liability. Chapter 2 emphasizes the importance of how much money one needs to maintain rather than how much money one can make. According to Robert, an asset is something that has value, generates revenue or appreciates in price, and has a market where it can be easily bought and sold. So in order to be in the category of assets, the commodity or product has to generate assets. So, if you live in a house that hasn't generated any income, it's a liability rather than an asset. Moreover, assets have to appreciate over time. Liabilities, on the other hand, drain money out of your pocket due to the expenditures involved with them. Kiyosaki's assertion in Rich Dad, Poor Dad was controversial when it was initially released in 1997. That's because a residential residence isn't considered an asset unless it appreciates enough to cover the cost of ownership. Rental property, on the other hand, is an asset since it can create enough passive income to cover the costs of operating and financing the property. In Chapter 2 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki asks the reader, want to get wealthy? When you have a solid understanding of what an asset actually is, you should prioritize the acquisition of assets that produce revenue. Maintain a modest level of liabilities and expenses. You'll deepen your asset column. Moving forward to Chapter 3, which has two major messages. Pay off your obligations first, and then begin investing in income-producing assets as quickly as possible. Next, maintain your financial condition by investing as much of your money as possible in assets and spending your time learning about new skills. In this chapter, Kiyosaki observes that most people mix their occupation with their business. In other words, they spend their entire lives making other people rich by working in someone else's business. This section also has one of the famous quotes by Kiyosaki. The majority of the poor and middle class are economically conservative because they lack a financial foundation. They must hold on to their careers and be cautious. They cannot afford to take chances. So what Chapter 3 taught us is to take a step forward and start to work for yourself rather than in other people's businesses. It's important to remember that Kiyosaki authored Rich Dad, Poor Dad as a motivational book, not to provide expert financial or tax advice. For example, Kiyosaki writes about buying a Porsche and deducting the cost as a business expense with pre-tax cash. Purchasing a high-end luxury vehicle when a much less costly brand and model will do could lead to an IRS audit. Leaving aside the Porsche, the suggestions given in this chapter explore how to play the investment game wisely. The wealthy understand the power of corporate structures and the tax system, and they employ all legal tools at their disposal to reduce their tax burden. Robert's is true in this case to a large extent. You will be surprised to know about the results when you compare how most people pay taxes with how company owners and investors pay taxes. Corporate structured business owners first earn, then spend, and lastly pay taxes. On the other hand, employees who work for corporations do the whole thing wrong. They earn, pay taxes, and then spend. In short, employees spend their money after paying taxes, whereas business owners earn and spend before paying taxes. Accounting, investment strategy, market law, and law are the four primary components of what Kiyosaki refers to as financial IQ in Chapter 4 of the book. As Rich Dad Poor Dad points out, recognizing the legal and tax advantages can help you develop long-term wealth. For example, a business can pay costs before taxes, whereas an employee is taxed first and must try to pay expenses from what is left. Corporations also provide legal protection against lawsuits. When someone sues a wealthy person, they are frequently greeted with layers of legal protection and frequently discover that the affluent person owns nothing in their own name. They have complete power over everything, but personally possess nothing, so they can avoid more taxes and any other legal issues, while the poor is unaware of all that. Rich Dad Poor Dad describes two sorts of investors in Chapter 5. Inventing money entails identifying opportunities or deals for which other individuals lack the necessary expertise, knowledge, resources, or contacts. Normal people entrust their money to a developer or fund manager to purchase investment packages. Most people invest in this manner, such as by purchasing ETF shares or putting money into a real estate crowdfunding endeavor. On the other hand, professional investors manage their own investments, conduct market research to locate transactions that make sense, and then hire specialists to manage the day-to-day oversight. Professional investors share three characteristics: to discover chances that others have not discovered, raising funds for investment, and collaborating with other smart people. Chapter 5 final thoughts are that some complain that there aren't any real estate bargains where they are, but there are fantastic prospects everywhere that go unnoticed. The main problem is that most people are not financially prepared to recognize possibilities that present themselves. In the final chapter, Kiyosaki puts it that Poor Dad is intelligent and well-educated, and he worked for money because job security was critical to him. Rich Dad made $1 million by working to learn. So, Kiyosaki advises young people to seek employment for what they will learn rather than what they will earn. Before committing to a single profession and becoming trapped in the rat race, they should think about what skills they want to develop in the future. In reality, Kiyosaki did exactly that. After graduating from college, he joined the Marines and developed the crucial business skills of leading and managing people. He joined Xerox after serving his nation, overcame his fear of rejection to become one of the company's top 5 salespeople, and then left the corporate world to start his own firm. To sum up the whole discussion, the purpose of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is to inspire you to create your own route to financial independence. While the book does not provide one-size-fits-all answers, it does provide a good foundation for developing your own goals for building wealth through real estate investing. Well, that is all for today's video. What do you think of Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Tell us your views in the comments section. And if you liked this video, please give us the thumbs up. Also, subscribe to our channel and join the journey with us. Best of luck and goodbye.